These are the assembly instructions to my ice cream sundae. I'm starting with this large semicircle piece and I'm just folding down on the score lines. So next I have these decorative pieces and they're going to go within those long trapeze shaped. So I'm just going to glue them within the score lines. I'm going to try to keep an even border all the way around each one and just glue those down. Now that that piece is decorated, I'm folding down on the score lines for the smaller piece. There are 8 sections with the same score line, the center score line, the angled score line on the side, and then that score line at the end. I'm just going to fold down on all 8 of them. So next I have the decorative pieces for this one. So they just fit within the score lines and I'm just going to glue them around the perimeter like so. Now that my piece is decorated, I'm just going to put glue on those tabs that are between my 2 panels and then glue the cut edge of one piece right up to the score line of the piece next to it. And I'm just going to do that all the way around for all 8 sides. Now that it's all together, I'm going to take glue, I'm going to put it on one of these tabs. With the semicircle in this direction, I'm gluing my tab between the score lines of one of those trapeze shapes. Then I'm putting glue on the next tab beside it. From the cutout on this piece, I'm just guiding the bottom so that my tab is just even with that next trapeze shape. I'm going to put glue on the next 2 for this one. So I'm putting glue on those 2 tabs, positioning that upper piece so that the tabs are even, like so. So now I'm just going to go around on the other side and do the exact same thing, putting glue on those tabs and just gluing them to the sides of my bowl. So I have 2 more tabs left on the inside. I'm going to put glue along the tab on the long side and glue along those 2 tabs. I'm stretching that side into position and then folding my tabs upwards, and I'm just gluing those in. So now I have all my tabs at the top. I'm just going to put glue all along, fold them inwards like so, and then just go in there with my bone folder and spread all that glue. And I'm going to do that for all 8 of them. So next I have the little plate that goes underneath my sundae. I've already folded down on all the score lines, including the tabs at the bottom, and I'm putting glue on the tab on the side so it's from the score line to the edge, gluing this on the underside of it just to hide it a little bit more. Then I have my 2 octagons. One of them's slightly smaller than the other. I'm going to put the smaller one on the inside. So I'm just putting glue along those tabs, and then I'm inserting my octagon, and I want the points of my octagon to line up with the score lines. And then I'm going to flip my piece around and put the larger octagon on the underside. I'm going to flip it over again and just spread that glue. Then I have my little embellishments. I could have adhered this while my piece was flat, but I decided to do it after the fact. So these are going to go all the way around. You could also cut a second set of these and glue them on the exterior. I think I may do that. After adding the decorative pieces, I decided to also add a decorative piece in the center. So I have an octagon that I've added to the file. And then I have decorative pieces on the outside as well. So basically that is my dish. So now I'm going to work on my cherry for my sundae. I'm going to start with the stem pieces. I'm sandwiching the longer one between the 2 shorter ones. And this is my cherry. I'm just folding down on all the score lines, and there are many. Next, I'm putting glue on the little tab that's on the side. I'm going to lay it down flat on my mat and fold the other side over until those pieces meet. One end has a tab with a hole in it. For now, I'm going to work on the other end. I'm going to take one of these tabs, I'm going to put glue all over from the score line to the edge of the piece, so just on that rectangle at the top. Then I'm going to grab the piece that's directly across from it, so there's 3 on both sides, the 4th one from either side. Glue them on top of one another, so I want the cut edge of that piece to be right on the score line of the piece that's across from it. I'm using my reverse tweezers just to make sure that that glue takes. And just a glue dot right in the center, like so. And then I'm going to stretch this one over, right? So I've got 1 tab in between all of them, and I'm putting glue and folding over the one directly across it, and then just gluing them together so it's being glued onto the top of the one that's at a 90-degree angle from it. Another glue dot. I'm folding this one over, putting glue on the top of it, and then folding the one across from it so that it reaches the score line. Knotted a dot of glue in the center. I'm folding this one over. I'm putting glue on the top of it, and then folding the one across from it. So I'm pulling the ones from the other end away from the center. I'm just going to go in there, press down, just make sure that that glue takes. So now I'm going to do the same thing with the top, but before I begin, I'm going to insert the stem in that little hole. I'm going to put glue along the bottom of it. I'm going to press down. This is going to be the last panel that I'm folding down. So I'm starting with that little tab beside it. I'm putting glue on it, and just like I did for the other end, I'm going to glue the one across from it so that the cut edge reaches the score line, like so. And I'm going to put a dot of glue on the top, and you can just continue exactly the way I did for the other side. And so I'm at the last one, so I'm going to put my dot of glue in the center. The one without the stem gets folded down, and I'm putting glue on top of it, just stretching that one over and gluing it down. And so that's my cherry. So this part is for the version that has the cookies. I have these 2 similar pieces, and I'm just folding down on all the score lines. So the first one is rather straightforward, and the second one has some score lines on the diagonal in the center of the piece. I'm just folding them down like that. And then I have my chocolate stripes. So I've cut them out of vinyl. I'm applying them using some very well used transfer tape so that the transfer tape won't damage my paper. I'm just applying to the top corner, right along the edge. I'm just taking my brayer and making sure that that's nice and adhered to my cardstock. There's no vinyl on that side tab. I'm going to put glue on that. I'm laying it flat on my mat and bringing the other side over, and then I'm popping it back into shape. It should be a hexagon. So for the second one with the diagonal score lines at the bottom, I have some vinyl that has a cutout that matches those diagonal lines. So I'm just going to apply that one as well. And then I'm going to do the same as I did for the other one. Put glue on that tab, and glue the other end to that tab. And then I'm taking my main piece from my ice cream, and I'm folding down on all the score lines. So I have the score line at the end, the one in the middle, the one that's closest to the center, one on the edge, and then this tiny triangular sliver. And I'm just going to go around the entire perimeter, folding down for all 8 of them. So now that I've folded down on all those score lines, I can see a little bit better where I need to put my decorations. So since this is the one that's going to have the cookies in it, I have my chocolate sauce cut out of vinyl, and I have one of the pieces that is specifically designed to fit in that piece. In the file you'll find another version of this that doesn't have the cutout for the cookies. I'm going to apply that piece first, and then I'm just going to work my way around applying the other pieces in sequence. So this one will go to the right, and this one will go to the left, and so on and so forth. And I'm holding off on the middle piece for now. So now that I've applied my vinyl for the chocolate sauce, I'm going to adhere my cookies. So the one with the angular score lines goes in the upper hole. Push my tabs inwards and then put it through the hole. Now I'm looking at the underside. My front tab is a rectangle, and or the tab that is over the second hole is a trapezoid shape. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue on that front tab. So on that rectangle, it should be the exact same size as the front of that hole. So I'm just going to press it downwards. Then I'm going to open up the tabs on either side, put glue under them from the score line to the edge of the tab on both sides, both of them on both sides. And then I'm just going to press down so that they're laying flat against the wall as well. So that bottom tab still hasn't been adhered to anything, but I'm going to take my second cookie piece. There are 6 tabs, 2 of them are shorter. I want one of the shorter ones to be towards the bottom. Pushing it through right to the score lines and bending those tabs onto the side. So then I'm going to put glue all over those tabs and then glue on the 2 center tabs that are meeting, flattening them down on the surface. The top one of this cookie and the bottom one of this cookie are adhered together. I'm just going to fold them out of the way. And so those are my cookies. So now I'm going to assemble the rest. Put glue on that top triangle and on that lower tab. The top one goes under, the bottom one goes under its neighbor, pinching them so that they adhere together. Applying a little bit of pressure. Then I'm going to work on the panel that's on the other side of my cookies. And I'm putting glue on that top triangle and glue on that bottom trapezoid shape. And then I'm tucking the triangle underneath, tucking the trapezoid shape underneath its neighbor, and then applying pressure to glue them together. And so I'm just going to work my way around the entire shape, doing the same thing for all 8 sides, just gluing those panels together in the exact same way. All right, so now I have my bowl. I haven't put on the bottom yet, and I have top of my ice cream. Now at this point you have a choice. You can glue all these tabs downwards like so, and then this becomes a box, or you can glue these down to the bowl and this just becomes a decorative item. I'm going to glue this down. I'm just going to put glue on all 8 of those flaps, and I'm going to lower my ice cream into the bowl. I want to make sure that it's even all the way around. I'm going from the center hole with my bone folder. I'm just pressing on those flaps, and I'm applying pressure with my thumb to the side or to the wall of my bowl. And I'm doing that all the way around for all 8 of those flaps. Now I have the octagon that goes on the top. I'm just going to adhere my piece of vinyl on it. I'm going to put glue all along the perimeter of the opening and place that on top. I'm putting glue all along the edge of the bottom. Then I have my octagon that fits over it. And then I have the little saucer or the dish. I have my cherry. So I bought these embellishments on Etsy a little while back, and I thought that they would be the perfect thing to create sprinkles